you our project, our view on Maserati in the future. And the first thing that important to say in the beginning, that Maserati has a huge history, and that's right, it has a definite image for an owner of this car. And then you think about Maserati, the first thing maybe you imagine an old man who is quite rich, has a nice taste, he's quite experienced in life, and the thing that Maserati is elegant, power, experience of the driving. And we decided to look at it from the different view. Michelle, please.
So actually, before we finalize our ideas, we are 10 in our team, so we had 10 different ideas. We thought about maybe we can find a replacement for GT, maybe to change the image of Maserati, we need to be more have a younger image or more feminine approach to attract other, I would say, customer base, and instead of only having the old gentleman type of people who will purchase Maserati cars. But one thing for sure is all of us, 10 of us, have one idea in common, is we think it's time for Maserati to go back to racing, to create a model that is representing something powerful for Maserati and young. So I give the floor to Pete, who will talk more about technology side.
That's what we wanted to create, was change Maserati's whole image, to go back to their fundamentals they had from the 1950s, maybe to when they were Formula One champions of the world, and kind of take that concept and bring it to the modern day, and completely change, the concept of what the brand stands for. So using beautiful technology, incredible materials. Maybe we had an idea of kind of exposing the rear end of the engine, so it's just pure mechanical engineering, but a beautiful skin over the top, so that it would bring the image right up to the present day, and kind of shake off what we're trying to convey was the old man image. And I'll pass over to you, Matt, to explain more about our brand.
So we've already mentioned that there's the idea of Maserati as being belonging to older men with a lot of disposable income. But for us, with reviving Maserati's racing history, we wanted to pick parts of the brand that spoke more to a younger audience. So with our brand analysis, we really focused on both showing the strengths of Maserati as well as where it currently stands in terms of design and its production costs. So we have the Quattroporte, the latest version, which is a very staid car. It's not too over the top. It attracts generally an older audience with a lot of extra cash, that not necessarily looking for a perfect driver's car, but they're looking for an icon. And also we have Steve McQueen and Audrey Hepburn, who both are amazing icons of style, of elegance, of exclusivity, and Paul Newman is his love of cars is really important to what Maserati is, because Maserati started as a brand because of two brothers' love of cars. So we also wanted to include some of the lifestyle objects that we have associated with Maserati. So we have, in this case, Ray-Ban sunglasses, which are known as icons of style and luxury. Very nice Omega watch, another icon of luxury and taste, and also a classic film camera, because we felt that it was important to show that Maserati appealed to people not necessarily looking for the latest and greatest, the new flashy technology, but people looking for something refined, well executed, and reliably done, with a level of sophistication that you can't necessarily find anywhere else. So now Andrea will speak about our moodboard.
So in the moodboard you can see class and elegance, but also there's a strong presence of what we think that Maserati is. So the racing soul that can be visible into, pictures like the Julie Nagua, or maybe the Steve McQueen, or maybe the Nürburgring, a dramatic view of the racing experience of Maserati. And also the sensuality, because a classic and sensual car. So now, let's talk about this.
Yeah, so as I said, we really want to reinvigorate the racing history and the heritage of Maserati back into the brand that we felt had kind of been lost in recent years. And so through our research of the racing history and heritage, we kind of ended up focusing on 3 iconic models that we felt were icons of the brand and something that should be reinvigorated to the brand. And these were the 250F, the 350S, and the, of course, the Birdcage. And all 3 of these were open top, very classical, very elegant, and we wanted to put that into our concept. And through these iconic cars, we came up with a barchetta type style, because we wanted to reintroduce that kind of open top feeling, and also that classic racing heritage with those beautiful lines. And Mariana will talk about the furthering of our concept of this idea.
So like I said, we wanted to make it something where it was a car where it's just for racing. Like it's something you take out for the weekend to a track day, not really a day-to-day car. We weren't able to remove the roof because of the state sections inside of it. So unfortunately, you don't really get the feeling of a race car. Well, you do, but without the hood. We wanted something that was challenging to master, but easy to drive, something that was really rewarding to be on the track with. Our idea was to have 2 shells connecting with being able to see the mechanics on the inside, and Andrea will talk more about the lines of the car.
So the side views are important because those 2 simple lines are not just 2 simple lines, because they create something special. So between the lines, you can see what is inside the car. So you can see the soul of the car. Also, you can see the driver, and you can see the mechanics. You can see the engine, suspension, everything. Everything is about a very racing car. And also, these 2 lines connect front to back. So there are continuous lines that you can follow from the front to the back. Nice. Speak about the front.
So for the front end, we wanted to create something quite special, because we wanted to sort of make a very exciting experience, a very aggressive experience, that also played along with this idea of having a very open chassis with minimal shells that are draped over the top of it. So what we've ended up with is a single piece that incorporates the top, the hood, the front grille element, as well as a front wing, a front splitter, that forms an enclosure, forms a space through which you can see the front wheel. And in this case, the front grille is actually completely filled in. It's not an open element, but it's outlined by a single chrome trim line to both remind you that this is a Maserati, but also to play into the need for very low air resistance and really simplify the design of the front. There are also, we have the headlights are very thin floating elements, which use fiber optic technology to conduct light only along the front edge. So when you see them from angles, they can disappear, especially from the top view. They seem to almost not be there, except the single line of bright light. So now, Renaud will speak to you about the rear end.
The rear end of the car is pretty much the continuity of the rest of the lines of the car. When you look at the rear end, it's very simple. Like Andrea said, the side lines of the car just flow all along the car, and when you look at those 3 lines that are there, they all come together in one line that is very simple, and that forms kind of the dovetail for the car. So the back is very simple. It has very minimalist lines. It's basically like the rest of the car. You can see through it. So this is empty. You could see the transmission, for example. You could see the engine in the original design, which was a mid-engine car. The back of the car. I wanted the first idea was to make it very empty, very clean, with a bigger diffuser. But in the end, it may have been looking too simple. So we added that blade there that includes the exhaust system, and that makes it still very classy, still very Maserati and sensual, but that adds something more to the back, that adds a little touch that makes this car maybe more special than if it was just an empty an empty space there. The tail lights are also floating elements like the front lights, which is like the continuity of the front of the side of the cars. Now I will check it for the interior.
Okay, for the interior design, we don't have specifically designed for using the technology to make the interior design, but we have several ideas and just 3 sketches. And because we know 350 heritage is something that we bring from the past to the future, so basically for the steering wheel, we use the emblem of Maserati, that is the Trident concept, and I'm trying to interpret into this kind of design. As you can see, it just looks like an elephant tusk, but it goes to the back here, and it has a butterfly shape, gear shape. Here you can see, and also the seats, bucket style seats, has made up of a carbon composite, but we don't use a full cushions into it, but we just use only some certain parts of the body that attach to the seats. So to make it more elegant and more fashionably fabulous, we use a quilted leather kind of thing to wrap up the cushion, so it's not wrapped all around the seats. And that's it. And unravel some of everything.
Okay, so we have learned a lot in this month, and we are very happy to see that it was incredible to work together in a unique project. In this book, there are all the sketches and all the things that we've done during this month. Enjoy it.
It was the first ideas, and then these are the final, and the evolution of the car.
Very good job. I like this effect of floating on the bottom and the top. The only thing is that here and in the front you have very sharp cuts, okay, that I cannot find here. Okay, so maybe for the language of the style that you have put on the car, this part, just the beginning like this, and this one, should have been more cut inside like it.
Okay. For the rest, this part is fantastic. This muscle here, the switch like this. Very, very good. Also use object here.
These are yours.
Yes.
Very good.
This is by mail.
Yeah.
Nice to share with Robert or transfer.
Definitely.
Okay.
Andrea, vuoi dire qualcosa?
Just congratulations to everyone, because also with the cover and the top of the car, I really look fantastic volumes. And all the theoretical line are perfect, and I really like the shape of the car. And personally, I found very interesting the floating lights, not only for the technology, but also because you can also integrate aerodynamics in that. So we can aerodynamic, active aerodynamic on this lamp. And just a great job. It's a fantastic car, and I really like the floating spoiler that contains the exhaust pipes. So really, I'm really proud of you and of your passion on the car. Great job, really.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, what I can say
How
as
was
a
our
student
revealing,
is
no?
that you really make a great job. Really, student grade. Okay, even okay, really great job. I really like some elements personally, as pointed out. The rear thing with the spoiler is amazing. Also the front. And what I thought also about aerodynamics, but also another idea. If you race it, it can be a very simple element that you can replace easily in case of crash, because it doesn't contain any optics. So it's really nice. It's really nice, really interesting project, and really well done in all these aspects, in the organic part. So,
Grazie.